Hey, hi, hello. You're listening to UW Comedy Hour on Rainy Dog Radio. I'm your host, Bella the Fool Carpenter, and I am so excited to be with you all today. For more audio bliss, you can follow Rainy Dog on Instagram at RainyDawg Radio. And for more premiere comedy content, including performer highlights, show schedule, and meeting links, follow at UW Comedy Club on Instagram. UW Comedy Club is the university's best and only stand-up club. We have meetings every Wednesday at 6:30, and there is absolutely no experience required. Just bring your heart and your mouth and hopefully the rest of you. And let's just have a great time. With us in the Not studio today is one of Comedy Club's co-presidents, a notable enjoyer of both Shortman and Twilight, Bean Larson.
Yes, that's a great introduction. I love Shortmen. I love Twilight. I want more Shortmen in Twilight. I want more Shortmen who like Twilight. Where are they? Also, I want to say I did not approve "Bring Your Heart and Your Mouth" as the comedy club slogan, but
yeah, that part is not written in the planned document. You know, I just felt
improv.
it in my heart. Yeah. This is why we're not an improv club, because when I improv, I say shit like "bring your heart in your mouth."
Look, it's hot, but I can't endorse it.
We gotta keep the sexy stuff for later episodes.
Yes, yeah. You did tell me before this episode started. You're like, no kinks. That's for later.
Specifically, we can talk about RAC, we can talk about SSC, but this is my first time doing this. Also, hi, I'm taking over from Jane, who was the host last season.
Oh yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah.
Jane did a super great job. She just had she was too busy. She's a boss babe. She had to step down.
She's a boss babe. She loves to gatekeep. She loves to gaslight. She did get tuberculosis, so she had to step down to go places with better air.
She's in an iron lung right now. Thoughts and prayers.
Thoughts and prayers. The iron lung is just the inside of her trombone. They shrunk her down and slipped her in.
Yeah, how are you feeling as the new radio host?
I'm excited. I like talking, and that's what this is. I like talking. I like making people listen to me talk, you know?
Retweet.
Enjoying some... I actually just deleted my Twitter like 2 days ago.
That's so good. I've made a Twitter twice and like never used it. And it makes me disconnected, but probably healthier.
Honestly, that feels like the best way to engage with Twitter. Every single time I think about, like, maybe I should post on Instagram more to, like, build my brand, I feel a shock go through my body, and I feel like that's a self-protection thing, you know?
That's good, yeah. You're protecting yourself.
The same thing is, like, when I'm on the highway, I'm like, what if I opened my driver's side door right now? Like, I get the same, like, hit of, like, no, I don't need to be a brand.
I want to feel something. Wait, this
I don't
want to
show
for my brand. Yeah, I know I shouldn't if I want to ever do anything in entertainment, but whenever someone says personal brand, I just like recoil a little bit. Just a little bit, because I know where they're coming from, but...
Well, here's the thing. I'm working on two different fronts, because, like, I'm in engineering, which means I'm better than you.
Right.
Obviously, yeah. So, like, I have to build two different brands. Like, I have to gamify how I list my YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, well, I don't want someone to see my LinkedIn right above where I talk about my roommate making cat noises at her boyfriend and how much I hate capitalism. Like, I don't want those two things to be together.
Oh, yeah, that's tough in an interview. They're like, so I hear you hate capitalism. And you're like, no, I love it.
No, that was just a bit. Please.
You know how college campuses are these days? Please give me this job.
If I could be more capitalism, I would do it. You need to believe me.
Yeah, no, that's tough. I don't, I mean, I have the advantage of having, like, 3 different names, so, you know, and also being ungoogleable. You try googling Bernice Larson, it's all obituaries all the way down. It's such an old
you're
name.
Lucky. My legal name is Isabella, Izabela, so it's me and a bunch of Polish women who may or may not be porn bots.
Oh, that's kind of fun.
I know.
You're in good
fun
company.
bedfellows, but good company, but It's just me, baby.
Yeah. Yeah, that's tough. I don't know. It is hard because, you know, a lot of my comedy is just bad. Just like, you know, vulgar and stuff I wouldn't want
Mhm,
my family to hear necessarily, although I've
mhm.
kind of accepted it more. I don't know.
Yeah, that's something you never think about when you think about doing comedy, where it's like,
Mhm.
oh, I'm going to have all of these fun interactions with people in my life that I'm going to make jokes about. And
Mhm.
then I have to see those people again and they'll know I was talking about them.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
no other
scary.
people won't know, but they'll know.
They will know.
And even if they don't bring it up, they'll be thinking about it.
Yeah, I've just kind of accepted that I don't think my family cares about me that much. Like I don't think they're googling me. And you know, you can block people from your Instagram story easy, so I'm good on that front.
Almost the dream, almost the dream. I have, uh, because I know she's listening, love my mom to death, but
Your
she
mom's
likes to
listening?
tell, yeah,
Hi Bella's mom.
shut up. But but love her to death. But she tells all of our extended family, everyone I've ever interacted with from like age 5 up, our hairdresser,
Mhm.
everyone she sees at work about my comedy and my work. So sometimes I'll just get texts from a relative. They'll be like, love your comedy. I'm like, oh, the one where I talk about not having a god? Cool. Very cool, very cool,
That's
very
so
cool.
funny because my partner Sam, his
Mhm.
parents are like that. They've just told they haven't heard my comedy one time by definition because I'm talking about, you know, fucking
Mhm.
their son. I don't want them to hear that. But they've like told everyone and we were hanging out with his grandparents and they're like, "Oh, I hear that you do comedy. I'd
Mhm.
love to see it someday." And I'm like, no, you know, maybe it'll happen. And then they're like, I
Mhm.
was watching this great comedian. She didn't say any swear words. You would
Uh,
love her. I'm like, oh, thank God. She has no swear words.
I mean, your bit about an IUD being a Republican man holding two guns inside of you doesn't have any swears in it,
Yeah,
so
there's no swear words.
no
And, you know,
challenging words, but some challenging content. Yeah. No, honestly, I was like hyper aware about that for a really long time. Like, I made one offhand joke about like I made out with a socialist at a lingerie party,
hmm
and I said, "Kiss someone with strong opinions; it hits different." My mom was like, "You kissed a girl," and I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "I
yeah.
knew I was gonna get that question,"
Oh, that's
but
funny. Like, don't
yeah.
worry, mom. I'll never do it again. It's horrible.
No, I just honestly, I'm kind of leaning in where I'm like, you're gonna learn a lot, and I hope you enjoy learning about some queer identity.
Yeah, I'm trying to embrace that as well and just
Yeah,
be like, I mean, I'm already
yeah,
estranged from some of my family. What's this gonna change, you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
Uh,
We're
Family and comedy. I haven't written a bit about my family yet. Not really. I've tried. Too close to home right now. I'm
yeah,
working
no.
on it. Yeah.
Yeah, no. When I first started to go to comedy club, I wrote up a bit. Like before I even joined, I wrote up a bit. I'm like, oh, this isn't jokes. This is just sad facts. And like standing on a stage and smiling while you say them does not make them not sad facts.
Yeah, there's like no punchlines. And then also, I think a
Mm-mm.
challenging thing about writing about other people
Mm-hmm.
is there's kind of a line where I don't want to be like mean. Like I really
Mm-hmm.
don't. I don't want to just get up on stage and like shit on another person and then get
Yeah,
off stage. So it's kind of hard to like find that balance of like also making fun
exactly.
of myself, making fun of them in
Mm-hmm.
in a fun way, not a mean way. So,
Yeah,
advice
there's
welcome.
call in and we'll take your advice. That's a lie. We're recording this beforehand.
Oh
We don't
man.
care about your input.
I remember, okay, old Rainy Dog show. Jordan and Apoorv were doing it, and I was a
Mm-hmm.
brand new comedy club member. And Apoorv just like listed his phone number, and he's like, call me if you're
Such an
listening to
important
this."
move.
I know, I missed it. I can't memorize
Uh,
numbers very quickly,
what a
so
shame.
sorry,
The
Apoorv.
first time I saw Porv in Comedy Club, he told
Mhm.
me he had a wife.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then the end of the bit, it was lying about his wife because he does not have a wife.
No.
And it was just a fun interaction with him. The like third interaction I had with the Porv, because I had a pretty, I thought was a solid idea about him.
Mhm.
He's like not really a dude, bro, but like one of his jokes is, I'm not gonna say it because it's his joke, but
Yeah.
and then he made some offhand comment about like, I think it's really fucking funny how gender critical people are just TERFs trying to hide their shit. I'm like, oh, I've never heard a straight dude say the words gender critical and know what they mean.
Yeah.
A Porv.
He's onto the TERFs.
Do we have to stan a king? I mean, I know he does computer science, but valid.
I've got a soft spot in my heart for short CS majors. I love them.
A soft spot in your heart, a soft spot in your home.
Yeah. Corner with a beanbag in it.
He has a food bowl, like a hamster water bottle.
Oh no.
For context, Bean's partner is that.
Yeah, he's a short CS major who I love with all my heart.
And that just speaks to like your breadth of love as a human being. Like he does CS and still.
Yeah. We're really into this is kind of boring, I guess. We're really into FIRE, which stands for like financial independence, retire early. Yeah.
Damn it. I know. It was literally FIRE.
No, we're not into literal FIRE. I guess it's cool.
I thought you were about to like drop some like Neolithic hobbies on me.
We're really rub sticks together.
We're really into FIRE and finding loose coyotes and trying to domesticate them.
Trying to be fully off the grid by 2024.
That's like the next level of off the grid, where it's like, not only do I forsake everything here, but I forsake everything that's come before.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, you're going back. I think it's anarcho-primitivism, right? I don't know. Yeah, we're really into this idea that you like do a high-paying job when you're young and like work and save and live frugally and then kind of are set up for
great.
Yeah, I don't know. He's more into it than I am because he's majoring in computer science and I'm majoring in education. So much more achievable for him.
God, some of my professors, which like, bless their hearts, will talk about us having a career. And I'm like, oh, that's very cute. Like, we're not going to be, underwater in 40 years. Very cool, literally. Very cool.
Yeah, you gotta learn to, I don't know, weld underwater or something. I think that's the future.
Yeah, I actually just, I love using my comedy platform as a way to humble brag. That's why I got into comedy in the first place.
Yeah, that's good.
But I got into like a lab in my major. Very excited. I'm going to be studying orangutan teeth.
What does that have to do with engineering?
So I'm in material science. Specifically, I'm interested in biomimetics, so like learning about biology and basically cribbing it for materials. Because it's like Mother Nature's done so much work with evolution. Why don't we just steal those designs?
Okay.
So we're looking at teeth and why they don't crack, why they should. Because it's basically just made of porcelain. So it's how they're made. Is this fun comedy content for everyone?
I love this. Teeth, I've got a long history with teeth.
Had them for a while. I made these ones myself.
Yeah, they're okay.
I had a retainer. I still think I know where it is.
What do you do with teeth? What do you can build something with them? I don't know.
The plan is, so it's like the structure of the tooth makes it so when a crack starts, it stops. The structure itself like dissipates the energy. So what we want to do is like cut teeth, polish them, figure out what's going on and why, and then apply that to like 3D printed metal.
Oh, so you could like make yeah, okay. Yeah. I see this. I can wrap my head around this.
That was Fuck Me Ray Bradbury by Rachel by Rachel Bloom. My first pick in comedy club music. Very jazzed.
I love that. I'm a big
Bean has friends over because she's not safe.
Hey, they're outside on the roof, but they had to pee, and then I guess someone was trying to
pee off the roof. Okay. We adapt. We survive.
We would get a passive-aggressive email from the property managers if we did that. I feel like we were talking about something, but you brought up Ray Bradbury, and I'm a big Ray Bradbury fan. I found out recently that he died kind of a crotchety old like Fox News
Oh
type. Yeah, I was
no!
like, huh, that's too
That's
bad.
so disappointing.
I know, but
I
it
really liked
kind of makes
Fahrenheit
sense.
451 in high school.
Yeah,
I still like it now, but
I do like it. I've read it 3 times. I think that
yeah.
dystopian fiction, not to make this a book podcast, but
Oh,
I
go
think
for it.
that
Yeah.
because I see hyper conservatives love 1984, which is really funny to me.
I think it's because they fundamentally misunderstand it. And if there's
Well, yeah.
anything hyper conservatives love, it's fundamentally misunderstanding things.
I think that dystopian fiction is really apt for like projecting your ideals and your
Oh, yeah.
situation onto it. So if you're like a
Mhm.
30-year-old white man who feels oppressed by college students, the government in 1984 is, I guess, angry college students who have
Yeah.
no power over your life, but whatever, we don't need to get
Well,
into that.
no one wants to see themselves as the villain. So if you read like
Mhm.
any kind of story with like an oppressed group,
Mhm.
or watch any movie where there's like a bully and someone who's being bullied, you're never like going to associate yourself with the aggressor because that's
Yeah.
not how media works. Like it's not framed around that. And like no one, fucking no one in their right mind is like, yes, I am the asshole.
Yes, I love oppression.
I hate friendship.
It's true, yeah. Because I read Fahrenheit 451 before and then after a faith crisis. So it was very like faith crisis-y for me. But obviously that
Okay.
wasn't what it was for Ray Bradbury. And apparently he was notorious for like going to college classes and arguing with the students about what Fahrenheit 451's about, which is just kind of beautiful. Like I think he accidentally made something that a lot of people have connected to and loved in the way that he didn't intend them to. Yeah.
Which, like, I agree. There's something really beautiful about that, and there's something also really scary about that. Because, like,
Yeah.
what if you make something and it goes the other way?
Just for some reason, white nationalists love it. You're like, oh god, no.
Or it's like you have no choice about how people react to what you make.
Yeah, it's true.
Which is a horrifying and very funny, fun concept.
Yeah, you just have to accept it at some point because comedy, I mean, that can circle back to comedy. Like, a lot of people are not going to like you. They're not going to like what you have to say. And for some people, it will be because of the content. And for some people, it will be because you're a woman on stage talking about how much you love abortion. And they're like, well, you're going to hell. That was weird, but
no,
you get the idea.
No, I definitely feel that. Like, where I honestly think, like, I haven't been heckled yet by someone who actually means it. I've been heckled by, like, a family friend in a Zoom chat that was private, but, like, that's nothing. That's nothing. Where, like, I was thinking about writing a bit where I talk about, like, someone following me home, and I'm like, oh no, that could actually happen. Is this funny? It's kind of funny, but, like...
yeah, that's the fear of, I don't know. There's a lot of stuff like that. I guess I won't get into it too much, but it's like, if I talk about this, will people misconstrue it as like, oh, she'll love it if I go up and harass her because of what she said. It's like, no. It's, I don't know.
No, thank you.
No thanks.
I don't know. I honestly think, like, any comedy where you have a bit of vulnerability in it, any comedy where, like, you're making jokes, but, like, you mean it a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, that's always going to open yourself up. Because basically you're like, let me crack something that's actually, like, really genuine and really sincere about myself and give it to you, an audience. And, like, you're going to respond to it in some way. And, like, I think part of comedy is, like, I'm going to make this and I'm going to say this and you're going to sit there and have a feeling about it. And I'm going to keep going about my day.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can...
And, like, I hope that feeling is laughing, but,
Yeah, I hope it's laughter or boredom and not like pure anger and hatred, but
hitting me with a car, yeah.
Not just like finding where I live. No, that's funny too because the consequences, words have consequences. How annoying is that? Because I've made multiple jokes. I have 2 sisters and I've made jokes about them. And then I posted a picture of one of my sisters on my Instagram story, and then I got multiple messages that is like, is this the foot pick sister or the dumb bitch disease sister? And I'm like, oh god, like these are my siblings. I need to be careful with their reputations.
Where I definitely feel like it feels like, what is it, cliche in itself to say like, oh yeah, when you perform you have a facade on, but like when you perform you kind of like, you hype, not like lie, sometimes lies can be funny, but you like watching movies, don't you? Anyways, but like like you play things up and you play things differently than how you react to them in real life.
Definitely.
Yeah, where it's like maybe you think it's okay to like say, is this your dumb bitch sister, when like if I was the character you saw me as, but like that's my sister, that's the operative word there. So
yeah, and I want to clarify, it's I didn't call her a dumb bitch. She
had dumb bitch disease.
She called my mom and told me I had dumb bitch disease while she was over speakerphone in the car. I was like, it was really funny. She told me it was terminal. So I'm sorry to announce that.
Oh, well, deepest regrets. I'll send an edible arrangement to your estranged widow, Sam.
Please do. He'll need it. Oh. Yeah, I'm stopping myself from talking about death because that's not fun.
I know. I felt myself dip in a little bit when I talked about the ecological collapse, and I'm like, oh no. That goes nowhere good. There's no fun jokes there. There's some topics where I'm like, is this a fun joke or is this something I think about before I go to bed?
Right. And how do you make them into jokes?
You don't. You make them into a reality that's like, there's like gallows humor, and then there's just gallows, and like, I don't really want a gallows right now. I've got other stuff to worry about. How am I going to turn in this lab report if I'm still thinking about being on fire? Like,
yeah. Definitely not the way to go, on fire. Although I am a fire enthusiast.
So disappointed that you're not like, Sam and I have just started lighting random fires around the city. That's why we were hiking today.
That would be fun. Oh, we did go hiking. It wasn't even hiking. It was an urban hike. I was on the roof of our apartment, and you can see the Space Needle. And I love the Space Needle because I don't know why I love things, but I love things from the 60s. I love the World's Fair. The Space Needle, you guys, look out your window. It's really cool. So I was like, okay, we can see this thing on the horizon. How hard would it be to walk to it? And so that's what we did, and we walked for like a total of 6 hours because we were just walking around the city and saw some people passed out on the street, saw some cool stuff that wasn't as sad. It was a good time though. I think that I've lived in a lot of places, and there's something really cool about exploring the place you live in because we don't do that. Like, we'll go visit other cities and be like, ooh, what's cool around here to look at, but we don't do that about our homes. So that was fun. I don't know if that's interesting, but
no, I had a good time. Yeah. No, I agree with that. Like, so last year I moved out of like university zone, out of an apartment that was literally one bedroom, and I lived in a closet.
Yeah,
which
I remember
funny.
that.
I went back in the closet. Yeah. So like now I live in an actual house, but it's like a little bit out of the way, and you have to drive everywhere to get places. And like it's a mix of like, I don't know. I like this living situation. I like seeing new things around the area because it's weird how much there is around here and how much is kind of hidden. And it's definitely better than living in U District. Like literally the last day we lived in U District, we heard someone screaming across the street just about stuff, stuff that was on their mind. It's just some nighttime yelling.
You know, sometimes you gotta get it out. It's
and that doesn't
complicated.
Happen here.
Yeah, because I grew up in the suburbs my whole life, and so there's definitely like a shell shock of the city, especially the U District. I don't know. I have a lot of mixed feelings about it because part of it is like, well, it's not like this stuff doesn't exist in the suburbs. They just get
Mhm.
pushed out into the
Yeah.
city, right? So it's not like, I don't know. The city is more revealing reality than like
Yeah.
having its own unique problems.
I'm actually remembering it better now.
Hmm.
The reason someone was yelling is because they had just been attacked and were yelling at the two apartment buildings to try and get help.
Oh, that's horrible. Did
Yeah,
you?
from what we heard, so they got help from the apartment across the street from us, and
Okay.
like people had thrown rocks at them,
Oh.
someone or a group, and they had to like lose their shoes and like drop their bag of laundry. But they got
Whoa.
help and they got okay. But yeah,
That's my nightmare because I hear people yell a lot,
mm-hmm,
but then I'll look out the window and it's just, they're on the
mm-hmm,
phone or they're just kind of
mm-hmm,
by themselves walking around yelling about nonsense. I'm really afraid of someone needing help because that's like, I don't know, that's scary. I mean, obviously
mm-hmm.
I'd try to help, but it's like, whoa.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, taking like the onus of that on. But
Hmm. Yeah, and
it's a
then
lot, and all we can do is like
do
work.
our best. We're chilling. We're doing our best out here. I'm excited to go back to campus hopefully in the fall.
Yes,
Just
I
do
hope.
things again. Like walking
Mm-hmm.
around the city reminded me. I was like, "Oh yes, doing things with people is good."
Mm-hmm. I was actually on campus today, like walking
Oh
around with
no.
a friend. Uh, saw more people than I have in many months,
Hmm.
and had the reaction where it's like, oh God, I forgot how many people could be gathered in one space at once. And
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
sadly, it was like a little overwhelming for me where I keep saying, like, oh, I want to go back in person. I miss like talking to people, not over Zoom. Like, I find myself missing like the dumb little social interactions, not even like I want to go to parties, I want to go to shows, I want to do that. But I
Hmm.
also like
Hmm.
want to find people to shit talk with in public.
Oh
Or it's like
yeah.
I want to like stand in line with people and have one person kind of be like an asshole in the general area and like make that eye contact with other people, like noticing that. Like I want to
Yeah.
have that.
It's kind of a, I don't know. Everything's in solitude right now. You kind of miss
Mm-hmm.
those interactions of just being in
Yeah.
community with people.
Yes. Where it's like, thank God I'm not living alone right now. Like I'm in a house, but I
Oh
have
my
like
god.
one other person here where
Yeah.
I'm not just like peeling wallpaper and like skettling on the floor like a dog or a crab. Some of my
Yeah.
other friends who are living alone, we were just like, yeah, I'm just like alone with myself all the time and I'm just thinking about stuff.
Bro, I don't know. I couldn't do it. Living alone right now has to be so hard because I have friends who are doing it too, and it's just like I hope you're like calling people every day because you should.
Just have they should have something set up so you know how Zoom or how zoos have like a camera where you can like watch baby otters and stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
They should have that for people who live alone, where it's like
Yes,
you can just tune in and that light can pop on.
it's for your friends.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Just check on them, tap on the glass.
yeah, you might see some things. It's fine.
It's fine. We all live in the
My
public eye. Build your personal brand.
Sam's parents got these security cameras at one point because
Mm-hmm.
the house across the street from us got like robbed. And so they're like, all right, we're getting
Mm-hmm.
these security cameras. And they had this feature because you would check them on your phone, and they had this feature where you could like talk through the camera to like yell at people or something.
Horrifying.
Yeah, so I want that in all of my friends' houses, whether they live alone or not, to be
Oh
honest.
God, related. I was once babysitting like a family like upper middle class, by which I mean rich, where
Mhm.
like I was babysitting like their kid and like two other friends' kids while they
Mhm.
got what's a nice word for plastered at
you
like a
know,
lunch.
we all need to do it sometimes.
Yeah. Where I only learned after they came back that they had video cameras in their house watching the rooms I was babysitting in.
Yeah, no.
Because they're
That's
like, oh yeah, we saw our son with like the Nerf gun. Was he causing you any problems?
Oh, why were they watching them?
I know. Why are you
I
watching me? Like, I feel like you could cut me out of there. Like, I'll take your $50. Thank you. And all your snacks. But,
or just tell me. I was house sitting for someone one time. They didn't even have kids, just a cat. And um Sam and I were staying in the house
Mhm.
like while they were on a trip. And I remember, like, walking around topless, and then I saw, like, a camera in the corner of the living room, and I was like, "That's weird." And
That's so weird.
yeah, and they, like, never mentioned it, and I never asked about it, so I don't know if it was working or not, but it's just, like, I just wanna know these things so I
Yeah,
don't, like,
it's
embarrass myself.
God, I uh don't want to talk about always being watched anymore. Cuz like
Yeah,
that
that's fair.
I feel like living right now, it's like we all know they all track us with their phones. We all know that
Sure,
like the
sure.
laptop camera's on all the time, but like as long as
Mhm.
I don't say it to myself, you know.
Uh, that's whatever they see, it's their fault for looking. That's how I feel. It's like, yeah, yeah, surveillance. Like I said, I don't
Some
have to
very
talk
fun
about it.
topics.
Yeah, we really were like, we have report, we don't need to make notes. And then it's like, okay, death, surveillance,
I forgot that
dystopian
this is our
fiction.
rapport. We
Yeah,
just do this.
yeah,
Let me
absolutely.
ask the one light question I have built
Mm,
in for this. So, are you ready for it?
I
It's
don't
a
know, we'll
really
see.
good one. It's gonna be a real good. Oh, my mom just told me to charge my crystals tomorrow.
Oh,
It's
that's
gonna
so
be a
cute.
real good.
You have a
Uh,
crystal mom.
I don't. Okay, let me pull back. Let me pull back. Hold on to the question, everyone. Sit on your hands. Hold that anticipation in your heart and in your mouth.
Yeah, yes.
So I don't have a crystal mom.
Mm.
She got into crystals, I think, to frustrate and hurt me. Because I'm very much like, you can't cure cancer with crystals. And she's like, I know that, but I think this is a fun thing to say. And they're
Okay,
pretty. And I'm like, yes, they are pretty.
yeah.
I covet. I see the shiny thing. I enjoy.
Mhm.
But she's like, you have to charge them in the moonlight. I'm like, I'm not charging a goddamn thing.
Yeah, I have a crystal mom. Sort of. I don't know. I feel like it's kind of hard because I'm like, I think I'm gonna make her feel bad. It's like what's the line between like just kind of indulging her to make her feel
Mm-hmm.
good, but then also being like, I don't think these work. Like, I'm
Mm-hmm.
sorry,
Where I'm
but
like, okay, how much of this is like placebo, and if I say
mhm.
something, I'll break it, and how much is her thinking that a salt lamp releases negative ions into the room, which sucks up negative energy? Like,
Yes, and she's not like full crystal mommy, but she'll
okay,
like call me and be like, I had a dream that you got hurt, so you need to be careful today. And I'm like, you're a mom.
okay.
That's like your anxiety. Like, that makes sense.
You're not psychic, you just have anxiety.
Yeah, I'm like, you just care about me. It's okay.
Like if I wrote down, if I didn't drive every single time I had a dream about getting in a car accident, I
Oh
just
my
wouldn't
god.
drive.
Oh my god, yes. Not
Yeah.
a chance. And I remember this one time too. She's like, I had this dream, and I was like, well, I'm on my way to a party right now. And she's like, oh, maybe you shouldn't go to the party. I'm like, yeah, okay, I won't.
This
And
sounds
then
convenient.
yeah, and then I like hang up and go to the party because and I'm still here. I didn't
And
get
you're
hurt.
still here. Look at that.
Yeah.
Life is a series of near misses, and we're back to death. But
Oh, we are. It would be
fuck,
horrible if I did die at that party though, because then she'd be like, I was right and
that's
dreams
the
are
worst
real.
thing. I mean, maybe she would make a very like profitable psychic business off that,
Oh, she would write a
but
book. She would write a novel. Oh my god.
definitely get a Lifetime movie.
Yeah, she'd be on Oprah.
I think you die like in the first act of that movie. Like it's under your name, but it's not about you.
It would be horrible. Well, not horrible, I shouldn't say. It would be
I dream of
interesting.
Bernice.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see how my mom would portray me in a book about me dying.
Oh God,
Okay, we're back on death. I'm sorry.
we're back. Okay, unsit on your hands, open your mouth, and let the anticipation out.
Oh,
Bean, my question is. Thank you for starting to put on chapstick. Just as
I'm
I'll wait.
ready. What, you think
Doesn't
I
look
can't
ready.
talk while I'm putting chapstick on?
Every time you talk, you take it away from your mouth. So
I
yeah.
have more than 2 brain cells. I can handle this. Okay, alright,
I don't know.
fine.
You said that dumb bitch disease was terminal.
It is terminal, but I have 3 brain cells
Okay. I put about like 6 months. I think you'll. Okay. How's your break been, and how's your next quarter going to be? That's my question.
Oh,
That's it.
I don't know. Let me think. Okay, what did I do? Well, this is boring. I was working on this project for most of break, and then
Mhm.
for a lot of complicated and not fun or interesting reasons, I was taken off the project and put on a different project that doesn't start till next week.
Ugh.
So that was fun because I was like gonna work all spring break, and now I'm not working.
Mhm.
So I went on a hike and um learned about some culinary things that I enjoyed.
Love new recipes.
Loving new
Love new
recipes.
taste experiences.
Yeah, just trying to get the right like earthy flavor from different kinds of mushrooms in my pastas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are
So,
just some dishes that really take you to another place.
oh, yeah, it makes time pass. It's like, oh, it's been 3 hours. This dish was so good. I had no idea.
I've just been nuzzling this pasta for a while,
My
thinking about
boyfriend
other
took a lot
stuff.
of notes.
You see him cataloging you like fucking Jane Goodall.
Yeah, dude, it was so sweet. He's so
That's
sweet.
true love. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
it is. He's like, okay, these are the inner machinations of your psyche. Cool.
Whenever I say I hate men, which is often, I
Mhm.
no longer mean Sam. He
Yeah,
gets a pass.
I don't know. I found a good one. I don't know
You
how it
got a
happened,
good one.
but you can still say.
While we're on the topic, I noticed you use partner.
Yeah, I like that. I know
Me too.
there's some debate where some people are like, no, if it's not a queer relationship, you shouldn't say partner. But
Wait,
then it's
oh
like,
god.
if that's true, anyone in a queer relationship is immediately outed.
Yes.
As a partner.
Also, here's some fun insider queer info because we all know each other and we all talk to
Mhm.
each other.
Yeah, you're all on the
No
same
one
page.
fucking agrees with each other.
No,
We
not at all.
all we all disagree. I honestly think like gatekeeping, literally gatekeeping, not like fun girl boss gatekeep.
Right.
Gaslight gatekeeping. I honestly think doing that to the word partner is just so dumb.
Yeah, because it's also like the only. I mean, I don't know. We've been together 6 years. Like boyfriend feels so.
Yeah.
I'm like
Like
we live
shallow. Like
together.
when I
Like
hear boyfriend, I'm like months.
yeah. It's like we're
Mhm.
planning our like future, like
Mhm.
financial future together. It seems strange to be like my boyfriend.
Yeah.
But marriage, I have weird feelings about, so I'm not sure.
Mhm.
But partner, that sounds like we're in like a crime
Yeah.
movie together. That's
And
cool.
like it speaks to like a higher level of commitment.
Mhm.
And like it's good. It's a good word. It's got good mouthfeel.
Yeah, it's got the best mouthfeel. Um, best mouthfeel, best
Please
heart
tell me
feel.
more about your boyfriend's mouthfeel. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Excuse me,
very.
your partner's mouthfeel.
Yes, thank you so much. Very dry. Uh,
Like a white wine.
a dry white wine, lightly carbonated.
Oh my
It's
god.
great.
So I recently had a friend over like 2 days ago
Mhm.
because a rough one.
Mm.
And we were splitting like a bottle of wine. She works at a restaurant. She knows a lot about wine. I
Mhm.
profited from that. She asked me before she came over, do you want like a Malbec or a Pinot Noir? I'm like, I don't know what those two
Whoa,
are.
not a chance, dude. I'm still trying to figure out all the coffee drink names. I haven't even gotten to alcohol yet.
No, but I saw her open a wine bottle in like 10 seconds with the
Oh,
same kind of wine opener I had because what I was trying to do is just screw in the opener and rip it out with my hands like
smart.
a caveman
Uh-huh.
instead of lever it down because we invented tools to make things easier.
Dude, I've had so many instances where we moved out of our parents' house. I'm saying our parents. Sam and I moved out of his parents' house into an apartment. We didn't buy a wine opener for like about a year, and every time we would buy like a nice bottle of wine, and then suddenly we literally last time was Thanksgiving, we unscrewed the curtains so that we could use the screw from the curtain rod to like screw into the bottle, and then you grab pliers and you like tear it out. It works, life hack for you. But then you can also just buy a bottle opener.
Yeah, a much better life hack because it doesn't
For like
involve some
$3.
interior design.
Yeah.
Because a wine bottle is really the one you can't like easily jerry rig. Like you
Oh,
can kind of pop open a beer bottle with a countertop if you
totally.
either have a cool landlord or are losing your security deposit.
Yeah, you can use a can opener. That's what I do.
hmm But you can't really like. Are you gonna? My first thought when I was trying to like open a bottle of wine by myself, it's like I'll just get a butter knife and just pop this cork into the
Oh, that's
bottle. I'll
fun.
cover the top with saran wrap. I don't care. But like that's also not a good solution.
There's a weird shoe trick we tried first that didn't work, where you put the wine in a shoe and then you hit the shoe against the wall and the pressure is supposed to like pop the cork out. It didn't work.
That's
You can also, if you're
yeah.
really desperate, drill through the cork so there's a little hole in the cork and then pour it through a coffee filter to collect the cork bits.
Just drips of wine at a time.
I would like to also emphasize you can get a bottle opener on Amazon for like $4.
We'll have 2 glasses in 3 hours. It's one of those like automatic plant water like pots where it's supposed to like gradually feed it through, except it's for you and could be solved with $4.
It's, we each went out independently and bought a bottle opener, so we have 2 now. We're good.
That's true love.
Yeah, the curtains will stay up from now on.
God, there's so much shame about like trying to do something and failing and then see someone like immediately succeed, not because they're like better at you or more practiced, because like that makes sense, but because you were doing it wrong the whole time.
Yeah.
I'm really bad at that where like I just buckle down in everything where it's like it's a video game and it's like this is an impassable obstacle and it's supposed to be impassable because it's like trying to tell you to go somewhere else. I'm like, no, I'm just doing it wrong.
Yeah. I can't think of a good example, but I feel like I do that a lot. I feel like what I do is I do a lot of reading, not a lot of talking. So I will say words just totally. I'm an education major and I didn't know how to say pedagogy.
I'm not going to help you.
I still don't know. For like the first year of my major, because I would just read it in these papers and I'm like, yes. And then I'm talking to fellow education majors who actually take their school seriously. And I'm like, yeah, pedagogy? And they're like, no, sweetie, that's not it. It's horrible. It's horrible to live.
Absolutely awful. Going back to your shoe wine bottle hack.
Oh,
yes. Was that from fucking like 5-minute crafts or something?
I have no idea. I ended up on like a WikiHow, that's like how to open a wine bottle without a corkscrew.
It's so I'd call it almost sinister that they let anyone go on WikiHow because like I see those pictures and I see the list and I'm like, I trust this. I know I shouldn't.
Who's making them?
I don't know.
Like somebody is doing all these illustrations for WikiHow and I don't think they're being paid. Maybe they are.
No. And someone's making the illustrations.
Yeah, and someone's editing Wikipedia articles. Like,
someone's answering Yahoo Answers. Someone's going on Quora. A lot of people are going on Quora.
Don't even get me started on Quora, dude. I was on there for a while. It's all furries. I don't know what happened. I have no idea.
I've only been on there for like like rough physics questions and had whatever this would be like a nice, kindly, I like to keep in my mind like Eastern European professor explain to me how magnets work.
There are a lot of academics. I don't know. It's so pretentious. It gets so pretentious so fast. And there's like these like top answerers. Like people who have lots of top answers. I don't get it, man.
You have people any bit of clout and they will just run with it.
Oh yeah, and I the reason I said it's all furries is because I remember one of the more popular dudes had the fox from Zootopia as his avatar. I don't know where you stand on Zootopia. Something about that movie didn't sit right with me.
Yeah, it's
I'm sorry.
Let me pick my words very carefully. I'm gonna solve this question with a with an anecdote. So
Okay, that's good.
in my high school, I had like AP Senior Lit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And my AP Senior Lit teacher, she obviously meant very well,
Mm-hmm.
but how she executed on that was less good. There were, I'd say, like 2 gay people in the class, like me and another girl, and like I was gay, but in a way where like everyone else knew, but I didn't. Very fun. And she would always sit me and the other girl right next to each other.
Huh. Solidarity.
And a little and always ask us to read out our writing like one after the other.
Mm-hmm.
Ask for our takes. She sat the like 4 black kids in the class all next to each other. And when we were talking about Heart of Darkness, asked them each how they felt about it, one in a row.
Oh.
Yeah. Or we're like, Miss Sullivan.
Hello, Miss Sullivan. Just randomized the seating.
What are you doing?
That's horrible.
Like, when I was in high school in that class, like the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas shooting happened. And she's like, we're going to spend 2 weeks debating about this topic, because I'm sure that's what you guys really want to do, is to think about this more and to think about it a lot. And we had that one holdout kid in class who was like, the wage gap doesn't exist, and an AR-15 and a handgun are just as dangerous. So I should be allowed to have both.
Teachers. Yes.
Yes, exactly. So she essentially like laid out the gloves, had 3 girls about, including myself, talk to this kid and be like, one gun has more bullets and one gun has 6. So like, let's do the math. Oh. And she basically just like sat back and fed the sharks.
Wow.
Just watch that happen.
That's not even good like debate praxis. It's like,
no,
one person, you don't need to change their mind, man. I don't know. That maybe it's a weird perspective, but
after the AP test, she showed us Crash, the movie Crash. Crash is a movie that is infamous for getting, I think, an Oscar when it didn't deserve one. It was a movie where it's like, we're going to talk about real race relations, and it just has people being like acting like aliens, learning that humans are different colors sometimes for the first time.
What? Okay. Well, actually, that's touchy. I'm not gonna go there.
Yeah, where it's just so much, and it's like known to be that. And I was like, "Why are we watching Crash?" She's like, "Because I think it's a good representation of race in America." And I'm like, "Cool, I'm gonna nap."
Yeah, there's so many movies that are, good representation.
And there are so many movies where it's like, Miss Soul, she meant well.
Yeah. They always do.
But, God, at the end of class, she was like, Bella, stay after. And I was still in the point where I'm like, oh my God, someone asked me to stay after. Tell me I'm a pleasure to have in class. I need this right now. I'm so tired all the time. And she was like, I want you to pick like a Chuck Palahniuk book that I can have the class read. And I'm like, okay. Are you sure?
I've never read any of him.
Yeah, he wrote Fight Club. And I wouldn't call anything of what he writes high school friendly. Yeah. Especially some of the new stuff. Like, it's definitely a mix with Chuck.
Unpredictable Chuck.
Mm-hmm. Chuck, he's a man who got super jacked super late in life. And I don't think that ever speaks well to like someone's well-being. Where it's like, if you feel the need to get like super shredded, like past, I don't know, 20. Like, there's a difference between, like, maintaining shredded when you're 30, or just, like, being 45 and, like, I need to get jacked now. Like, what do you think is going to happen to you where you're going to need that muscle?
I don't know, man. I don't know what 45-year-olds go through. I'm not there yet.
God, I hope I never do.
Die young.
We're back to this.
We're back.
Down to 4. Hello, the touchstone of comedy.
How was your spring break, Bella? What did you do?
I'm doing okay. It's been a lot of work this spring break. Not only did I have break homework, but
what the fuck?
Exactly. No, we're allowed to curse on this show. I asked Jane last time.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. So I had break homework, and it's been a lot of finagling where, excuse me, in the house, that I'm living in right now, we're having like a roommate swap.
Mhm.
So coordinating that's been a little bit yeah, it's been work, it's been some fun. I watched The Witch with the friend I opened a wine bottle with.
Oh, the Eggers movie?
The Witch, yeah.
The Vivitch? Yeah, I like that movie.
It was a good movie.
Mhm.
Uh there's some movies where like it's a good movie. I felt like absolute dog shit coming out of it, but good
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah, that was fun. He also did The Lighthouse,
Oh
and
my god, I still haven't seen The Lighthouse yet.
okay, yeah, it's I liked The Witch more. Obviously, it
Mm,
had more themes of things that I
mm.
enjoy in it. That was a good horror movie though, because
Hmm.
goats freak me out,
Oh
so
yeah,
that worked.
it's a strong animal to pick.
Yeah, it's strong. If you're gonna go for creepy animals, goat's a strong
Mm.
pick.
Horror movies are so hit or miss for me, and I
Mhm,
feel like
mhm.
longtime listeners of the show will know that I enjoy getting right up my ass when I talk about this topic. But I think horror and comedy are really related
Oh,
because like both are
interesting.
related about shock, both are related like building tension and releasing tension,
Mm,
and both either like work for some people or they don't. Like
hmm,
what you find scary and what you find funny is kind of like tailored to you.
interesting.
And like there are some things you can do that like are generally like crowd pleasers, I guess. Like for a horror movie for me, like I know if they play music and flash red lights at me, I'm going to be scared no matter what. But that's just me and I work like a deer.
Hmm.
If I have a roommate turn a corner too fast and they just enter my peripheral, I will like jump out of the way.
Yeah, I like horror movies too. Although I do
Mm,
tend to like the weirder. I don't really like jump scares, and I don't really like gore,
mm-hmm.
so I tend to like the more
Yes.
pretentious movies, I guess.
You know what? I realize this because like I don't have a problem with gore in horror movies,
Mhm.
but I can't watch medical TV or medical shows at all. Like I
Oh.
tried to watch House MD with my roommate, like the first episode, and got like physically ill when they were talking about like
Oh.
intubating someone through the lung.
Hmm.
But I can watch like Midsommar and that head crush, like not comfortably, but like not feeling gross.
I think that when you watch something like horror gore, it's
Mm-hmm.
not something you expect to go through in your life. And I
Mm-hmm.
think medical horror, if you can call it that, hits closer to home because it's
Yeah.
kind of like, yeah, this is probably what is coming for me, maybe something like it.
It could. It's much more
Yeah, it's
realistic where it's like,
possible. Yeah.
I'm probably not going to get like my guts ripped out like Drew Barrymore in
No.
Scream, but I may need like a tourniquet or to give someone a tourniquet
Yeah.
sometime in my life.
Yeah, I might need a catheter someday. Ugh, yeah.
Mm,
I don't like doctor shows. Um, they're
mm.
just silly. I don't know. I don't have anything to say about that. As far as good horror movies, I really liked The Invitation. Did you ever watch that one?
Ooh, it's been on my short list for a long time.
Okay, yeah, that's like a really long build up kind of
Yeah,
suspense one.
that sounds good.
That's really good. Yeah.
Yeah, I promised a friend who might be listening, hi Kirk,
Hey,
that
Kirk.
I'd watch 7 hours of Justice League for him, both the old cut and the new cut, and I still
Whoa.
haven't done that because I know I'm not gonna have a good time.
I have not seen a lot of. I mean, I haven't seen a lot of Zack
But
Snyder.
I
What
know
I have seen, I don't really like. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Zack
I'm not.
Snyder
I don't like
heads.
him.
Yeah.
But I think I might just do the invitation instead. Oh.
Yeah, that'd be fun. I
Mm-hmm.
also just watched, I don't know if movies are interesting. I watched It Comes at Night and ended up
Ooh.
really liking it. It got a ton of shitty reviews because the trailer made it look like a different kind of movie than what it is.
Mm,
I had not seen the trailer going into it, so I really
good.
liked it.
That's something like. So I was very deep into movie stuff,
Mhm.
and I still kind of am. I've done like different things. It was a long time like pocket hobby of mine,
Hmm.
but like seeing how much work can go into a movie, like all
Oh
the
my
way
god.
through how many hundreds of people have to work on it just for like a fucking trailer cutting business to
Yeah.
ruin it for people. Like that
Yeah.
happened with Jennifer's Body. It sounds like that what's happened with like you were Jennifer's Body was more like marketing stuff too, but like
Mhm.
isn't that the worst? Where like
Yeah.
right at the end you can do everything super well and right at the end it can all just like fall apart.
Well, it's also just not a good reason to give a movie a bad review.
Mhm.
It's like,
Yeah.
oh, the trailer was bad. That's different. It's a separate
Mhm.
thing.
Review the trailer.
Yeah, do trailer reviews. I don't know. Yeah, I've been trying to get into movies more. I've been watching a lot of old movies.
Mm.
Ugh, so much weird shit, dude. I watched Breakfast at Tiffany's. Nobody warned me.
Yeah, it's
Nobody warned me about that.
it's so weird to look back and be like, oh, we were just all cool with this
Yeah,
for a long time.
there's this, there's a super racist caricature that I was like actually so shocked. And I remember my first thought was like, how did they get like an Asian person to do this? It's
Mm-hmm.
it's a white guy. Hey,
Yeah, of
surprise!
course.
It's Mickey Rooney.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the movie was just like very like. I mean, maybe it was interesting in the 60s, but it was very just kind of manic pixie dream girl. I was like, oh, this is not that good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Audrey Hepburn looks cute. That's probably why people watch it.
Well, they're definitely like, it's so. I think movies are something that definitely like need their own context, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's interesting, like, see things pulled out of it. Like, I talked about Scream earlier, and like, when I watch Scream now versus like when you watch Scream when it came out, or like any movie at all, you're gonna have a different experience because it's such like a medium that builds on itself. Where like what people were seeing then like was groundbreaking, whereas now it's kind of cliche.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. Especially, I started watching Citizen Kane, which is supposed to be.
Yeah.
And I can imagine if you've never seen cinematography like that, it's really cool. But it feels now very over the top and like dramatic. Yeah. It's 70 years old or something, so I can't really.
Well, do you have any more art pieces you want to shit on before we leave, or?
I love shitting on art. No, it's fine. I'll shit on next episode. I'll shit on every Marvel movie ever made.
Ooh, I'm so excited. I like colors other than gray, so I don't like them that much.
Yeah, I hope this is good content. I kind of feel like I'm just chatting with you as a friend and not making content, but
yeah, and I hope that parasocial relationship extends to all of the listeners.
Yeah, comment on our Instagram. Tell us.
Yes.
I don't know.
Speaking of our Instagram, you can follow Rainy Dog Radio at Rainy DAWG Radio and UW Comedy Club at UW Comedy Club on Instagram. Join us next week where I'll be talking to Tyler Trolson, the second Comedy Club co-president.
Woo!
And Comedy Club has meetings every Wednesday at 6:30. You can sign up to join the email list on the link tree at the Instagram. And keep listening to hear Calling from the Funhouse with Bill Pepsi.